Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the Gandhinagar Lodge, I welcome you all to our Thursday evening study class of the Voice of Silence. Before beginning, let's all join together in the universal invocation. You can unmute and join if you wish. O hidden light, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he's therefore one with every other. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for joining today. We continue with our Voice of Silence studies by our respected Shindeji. We have reached up to number 52 of fragment 1. So, unfortunately, Shindeji is unable to open his video, but I will be sharing his presentation with you, and then Shindeji can start. Just a moment. Can you all see? Can someone say? Can you all see the presentation?
Yes, very good.
Very good. We
Yes,
see.
yes, sir. Shindeji, most welcome. We are so glad you're back from the break, and thank you so much. We are very grateful for your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please start.
Okay, I express my gratefulness and thanks to the Gandhinagar Lodge for arranging such study class. Brothers and sisters, we are delay with this Voice of the Silent study class. At the outset, I must apologize for the 1 month break in between. We again continue on each Thursday at 6:30 p.m. See, we are doing this because it is really one must study individually as well as collectively. And today, we again started after a break of 1 month. And today date is again a special day rather. Incidentally, today is the death anniversary of our former international president and outer head Sijin Das. And also today auspicious day because it is Guru Pushamrita Yoga. So on this day, we are again beginning with the Voice of the Silence. I think this is something indicates us. Today we deal with the verses from 58 to 68. They ask us to become the path. And from 69 onwards, speak about one road to the path, and its very end alone, there is Voice of the Silence. So again, we are going to study today from verses 58 to 73. But before that, let us remind what this Voice of the Silence asks us to remember always. It says, mind is the slayer of the real, slay the slayer. And rise above, because it is your nature to rise above. And also, always shine above, because it is your right to shine. So already we studied 3 halls, how our journey passes through hall of ignorance, hall of learning, hall of wisdom. And also we studied the 7 mystic sounds, related them with the mystic sound in the sense Sarigamapada. And also we related with the 7 planes of existence, 7 potential centers or chakras. So by rising from physical, lunar, from physical body to lunar body to solar body to star body. So one becomes then walker in the sky. These terms are used in this Voice of the Silence. And it is only then when he becomes the walker in the sky, he can be able to cross this threshold. So here this presentation shows very right from the Egyptian tradition, the mind that refuses correction builds its prison stone by stone. But the mind that welcomes truth breaks every chain with a single thought. So this is Tehuti of the West, illumination of the inner realms. So what we have to remember is, your mind is your instrument. Learn to be its master and not its slave. So voice of the silence, again and again repeating in the study of the voice of silence, that mind is the slayer of the real. So if you control, it will guide you. If you don't control, it is very dangerous. And in this way, we must transcend our lower mind. So when we study the one by one, 58th verse, see, the 58th verse says, thou cannot travel on the path before you become the path itself. You cannot travel on the path before, or rather, thou has to become that path itself. So this says the unexamined life is not worth living. So when it says you become path itself, so before you begin your spiritual journey, you must become the path itself. Means you must begin to examine life and see that it is worth living. Is it not mystical statement? Because in next fragment second, in 111th verse says, search for the paths. And again, it deals with the two paths. So something mystical statements, when it asks us to become the path itself, and even in the light on the path, it is said, seek out the way. So when it says about the two paths, then seek out the way and search for the path. And here, thou cannot travel on the path unless you become the path itself. Very important statement, because it asks us, it is just like being in the middle of the opposites. All thoughts of me and mine need to be abandoned. That means we must become a balanced person. Balanced people are always happy and improving. Whereas unbalanced or unhappy, they are always comparing, evaluating, judging others. So this becoming path itself means becoming introvert. Starting examining our own life, and this life is worth living. Then in 59 it says, let thy soul lend its ear to every cry of pain, like as the lotus bears its heart to drink the morning sun. Very easy to understand, but very depth. Let thy soul lend its ear to every cry of pain. Here we must remember, when we become introvert, then our eyes are not seeing, but our soul is seeing through the eye. Our ears are not hearing, but our soul is hearing through our ears. So these ears and eyes, these senses are the windows of the soul. If we understand this, then the example is given how lotus flower, lotus bud is eager to bear its heart to drink the morning sun, means when the sun rises, immediately blood blooms. This is how unfoldment of the bud takes place. That example is given. Let thy soul lend its ear to every cry of pain. Not only your pain, because it is quite clear the pain is pain, not yours or mine. Then it says, let not the fierce sun dry one tear of pain before thyself has wiped it from the sufferer's eye. That means here again it is given the fierce sun. Fierce sun represents you are in the wisdom of the light and you are able to see the pains of the others. And if you are indifferent to the pains of the other, that means you are allowing drying your tears. There are tears, there are feelings, because wisdom light is there. When you become the member of the Theosophical Society, that light is already given to you, and you are seeing the pains of the other. So how you are concerned with the pains of the other? That is what it is said. Let not the fierce sun dry one tear of pain before thyself has wiped it from the sufferer's eye. There is a wonderful story I would like to say here, that it is a Nepalese guides. When you go to the Nepal, there are Nepalese guides, and they are, even if in the forest there is no light, but still, even at night also, they are guiding properly on the path. So one person asked this Nepalese guide, how you find the way when there is no light? Then he said, I have a near look and I have a far vision. So with one eye, I have a near look. With the other eye, I have far vision. And therefore I see the path. And so with one eye, I see the path, and with the other eye, I guide my course by the stars. So one eye is down and the other eye is up. And thus I am finding my path. So seek out the way. Search for the path. When it is said, so we must have two eyes. One is vision, seeing all around, giving response to the cry of the whole sorrow outside the world, and have a right vision. And one eye, our next step, always we must be attentive. So here Krishnamurti says, that is what I want to say again here, in his book of life, because when our becoming the path itself means we are observing our own book. He says, suffering is suffering. It is not yours or mine. It is not impersonal or abstract as well, but it is actual. We have come in this suffering world. It is actual. Therefore, we all have to be sensitive and study deeply to get insight into suffering. So, ending of this naturally brings about peace not only within but outside. This is what Krishnamurti has guided us. And Voice of the Silence also says, thou cannot travel on the path before thou hast to become the path itself. Let thy soul lend ear to every cry of pain. like as the lotus bears its heart to drink the morning sun. Let not the pious sun dry one tear of pain before thyself has wiped it from the sufferer's eye. So when we understand this, I am giving you little bit explanation more, but it is essential. Then in the 61, not 61, yes, 61. But let each burning human tear drop on thy heart, and there remain, nor ever brush it off until the pain that caused it is removed. So, to be like I am the way and the way. It means one of the masters said, I am the way, I am the path. When death comes, it does not ask permission. It destroys on the spot. So, in the same way, becoming the path means ready to drop our hate, envy, pride, or pride of possession, attachments, beliefs, opinions, ideas. So we must be ready to drop immediately. Then only I am the way and the path. This becomes the path is crucifixion of the lower self and letting the higher self express itself. This is what it says, verse 61. Let each, let each burning human tear drop on thy heart, and there remain, nor ever brush it off until the pain that caused it is removed. So keep in mind, there is suffering, and there is way to remove that suffering, what Buddha has taught. So be like, I am the way and the path. Then 62 says about the tears only. These tears, O thou of heart most merciful. That means these tears, these your tears are most merciful. These are the streams that irrigate the field of charity immortal. It is on such soil that grows the midnight blossom of Buddha. More difficult to find, more rare to view than is the flower of the forget tree. It is the both from strife and lust. It leads him through the fields of being unto the peace and bliss known only in the land of silence and non-being. So this very deeply explained. So whatever these merciful tears are there in your eyes, these are really irrigating the field of charity immortal. So what is this charity immortal? Is it is such a seed that nourishes rare beauty of Buddha's heart. So it is on such soil that grows the midnight blossom of the Buddha. Midnight means it only arises when everything is asleep. In the sense, in deep sleep, this happens. This Buddha's heart blossoms only in the midnight, in the sense, in the deep sleep. And it is the soil of such a mind which is free from all resistances. And it is also said, it is more difficult to find, more rare to view than is the flower of the fig tree. The fig tree in Maharashtra, we call it as the Audumbar fig tree, and its flowers comes after 12 years. This is what saying is there, and it is very difficult to find that flower. In the same manner, to reach to this Buddha's heart, blossom of the Buddha's heart in midnight, it is very difficult. That is what is said. And when you see it, it isolates the arhat both from strife and lust. It leads him through the field of being unto the peace and bliss known only in the land of silence. So, what is the result of this? When you find this heart, merciful heart, with merciful tears, and this in midnight blossom of the Buddha, there is a reward. And that reward is, it isolates you both from strife and lust, and it leads you through the field of being unto the peace and bliss. And this is known only in the land of silence. So again and again, silence is used. So what is this Buddha's heart? Buddha's heart is the divine wisdom, is the divine compassion. Therefore, training for divine compassion includes these merciful tears, and this is the way to Bodhisattva. I think it is very important for all of us. Compassion is essential on the path. One cannot close his eyes or turn a deaf ear to the suffering of all. Like lotus flower which opens its heart to the morning sun, so must man open his heart to the suffering around. Thus may his own pain be shared, and his pain is softened in self-forgetfulness and not the pain of loneliness. See, this is how when you help others, definitely you help yourselves also. Your pain is also softened because you attain that self-forgetfulness state and not in loneliness, but in true aloneness. It is only then, as disciple progresses, he begins to feel a great joy in his heart. Thus, coming so close to the heart of nature and his fellow men, he is now touching the real. This touch takes him then beyond unreal, beyond perishable things of life. So, who are with merciful hearts? If you ask, who are with merciful hearts? The souls with the merciful hearts are those who never rest, because they have chosen to follow the path of love and service, and only for the sake of suffering of mankind. Not only they are dedicated, they are also working out their own karma, but also they are aware of the suffering of the others. So once they have reached that stage and are bestride the bird of life, this term again I have taken from the Voice of the Silence last time. Once they have reached that stage and are bestride the bird of life, then there will be no more earthly suffering for them, because they are outside realm of time and space, outside the limitations of the time and space. So in real sense, they have become selfless, desirelessness. See, desirelessness quality, it is given at the feet of the master. And becoming unselfish is essential on the path, and aware of all the obstacles that are coming in our path. So the word tanha, here it is used, means love of life. Okay. In the 64th Tanna is used. Yeah. Kill out desire, but if thou killest it, take heed, lest from the dead it should again rise. Kill love of life, but if thou slayest Tanna, let this not be for thirst of life eternal, but to replace the fleeting by the everlasting. These two are again important. Kill out desire, but if thou killest it, take heed lest from the dead it should again rise. Which means we can be good sometimes, we can be virtuous for some time, but our own old temperament towards they take us, or we are carried by those temperaments towards the temptations, and this carrying with the temperaments brings us back, because our seeds of the desire are not yet destroyed completely. Therefore, Voice of the Silence says, kill out desire. But if thou killest it, you think that you have killed it, but again it takes heed, lest from the dead it should again arise. You think that it is dead, but how it arises, you must be aware. That is what 63 says. Then 64 says, kill love of life. But if thou slayest the Tanna, let this not be for thirst of life eternal, but to replace the fleeting by the everlasting. So here, desire to gratify senses and desire for the life, Tanna is craving. So kill out this craving, kill out the desire to gratify senses, and kill out the love of this earthly life. That means, and thus, when you become indifferent, then you replace the fleeting by the everlasting. Then 65 says, again, desire nothing. Cafe not, CHAFE, cafe means don't resist. Desire nothing, but don't resist. Don't resist at karma, nor at nature's changeless laws, but struggle only with the personal, which is transitory, which is the evanescent and perishable. So do not take anything seriously. That is what Voice of the Silence says. Desire nothing. Do not take anything seriously means don't resist the karma. Karma is there. You have karma, therefore you have taken the birth. So don't resist. Do not take anything seriously. If anyone hurts you, it is his nature. Dismiss it from your mind and go to the new item. This is the attitude we must develop. Then 66 says, thus you can help nature and work on with her. Only by not taking seriously, if anybody hurts, you just leave it to him, dismiss it from your mind. Only by this non-resistance to karma, you will help nature and work on with her. And then nature will reward you. Nature will regard thee as one of her creators and make obeisance. So nature is conquered by obeisance. This is how you are the free agent of the nature. Only when you begin to work with the nature, then only you can have this kind of thing. We are told again and again that if we work with the laws of nature, we gain mystic powers not known to earthly man. Earthly man here, material man. And material man gets this mystic power if he works with the laws of nature. That means he evolves. We are asked to take our evolution in our hand. Consciously, we must move. Therefore, an aspirant who desires to be of service to mankind, he should have constant eye towards the upliftment of the humanity. And then only he surely hastens his evolution, which means he begins to practice what he has learned. He begins to serious about what he has heard, his inner voice, and only that inner voice of the silence, that guides him what he should do in next step. In a very good dialogue, there is a book, Dialogue of G. Purkar, volume 1st, page 45. This dialogue, the author points out, initiation is self-conferred. So you are lifted, you are initiated, but it is self-conferred. When one has gone ahead to the point where he is ready to receive more, then that initiation is given. Then he will know it to himself. Otherwise, he is not ready to receive it. So this is what the 65, in 67, 66, help nature, then in 67, it says, and then nature and sea will open wide before the portals of her secret chamber. Here again, nature opens only to the initiates. And I am told that HPV was an initiate. And therefore, whole knowledge is given to her. And she passed on to the world. Then it said, and then nature will open wide before thee the portals of her secret chambers. Lay before thy gaze the treasures hidden in the very depth of her pure virgin bosom. How, unsullied by the hand of matter, she shows her treasures only to the eye of spirit, the eye which never closes, the eye for which there is no veil in all her kingdom. Here again, a different eye, soul eye, or third eye, or whatever you call it as. It is, even in Bible also it is said, fleshy eye sees material things, whereas spiritual eye sees spiritual world. Then we just see next slide. I want to, how the nature makes you to know. This very nice slide, I liked it. The sunbathing. Sun upgrades your inner DNA. And when you go to the beach, the ocean cleanses your aura. So it is better go to early morning. Your aura becomes pure. And this is how C.W. Leadbeater studied the aura of Krishnamurti when he was 13 years old. And he saw complete selfless human aura around him. So the ocean cleanses your aura, the sun upgrades your DNA, and trees absorb negative energy. When you feel depressed, when you feel loneliness, go to the tree nearby, touch it, and be with it. So all trees always absorb your negativities. Let us go to the next. 68. Then we'll see, show thee the means and way. So when nature opens its treasury, then it will show you the means and the way to the first gate, then to the second gate, then to the third gate, up to the very seventh gate. And then the goal beyond which lie, bathed in the sunlight of the spirit, glories untold, unseen by any save the eye of soul. Again and again, soul eye, it is said. In the last I said, your eyes are not seeing. The soul is seeing through your eyes. Such kind of inner integrity is needed. So what is this first gate, second gate, third gate? I thought we are told in the modern biology, we have three brains. One is the gut brain, second is the heart brain, third is our proper cerebral skull brain. So it also can be related. The gut brain is the lower three chakras. Then the heart brain is the fourth chakra. And the proper brain is the third, means what we call Kantha chakra, not even pineal gland, etc. So our third eye. So this is how first gate, second gate, third gate, up to very seventh gate. All these chakras, they start opening, they show the means and the way. And then the goal beyond which lie, bathed in the sunlight of the spirit, glories untold, unseen by any save the eye of soul. So this 68 and 69 speak about the goal, glorious untold, to save the eye of the soul. Before that, I would like to show some of these, because here we receive. Thus, you are already complete now. When all these 7 gates are open, you are already complete. Nothing is missing. Recognize what has always been here. This is a stage. And one of the popes said in the evolution of man, know then thyself, presume not God to scan. The proper study of mankind is man. So here circle is shown with a point within the circle. The point within the circle is good representation of man in his perfect state. So you are in the center, not in the circumferences. So from the center, you realize he is the monarch of all he surveys and has complete control and absolute. So this is how you are already complete. Nothing is missing. Recognizing what has always been here. So next I have shown the soul eye. So this is from the mystical traditions. We use the third eye to access intuition, psychic talents, and astral travel. The all-seeing eye symbols are the eye of Horus, eye of Masonic, eye of this dollar bill, it is said. It is actually Atma Buddhi Manasa together triangle. So represent globally through the eye of Horus, Freemasonry, and the US dollars. So mystical tradition uses this third eye. Next, what one needs to get convicted is, what one needs to get convicted is to be complete man. That is, totality of man. Krishnamurti used totality. That means you are not the mind. Thoughts come and go. You are the one who knows them. So again and again, same direction is given. You are not the mind. Thoughts come and go, but you are more than thoughts and mind. You are the one who knows them, what thoughts are coming, how they are going. So you are not the mind, you are beyond the mind. You are the one who knows them. Then in the next, the knower is ever present. So no, mind is sometimes goes here and there, but the knower is ever present. It does not begin or end. It is the background of field of chitta, field of chitta. So the knower is ever present. That field is ever present. It does not begin or end. It is the background of every experience, and that is recorded. In the next slide, again, I have showing. So one needs to understand after this to relax and stop or resisting, relax by resting and stop chasing. Because when seeking stops, when clarity is revealed, then what you seek is what you are, a complete man. And reality is simplicity. In the other words, simplicity is reality. Truth is not complicated. It is uncovered when the extra falls away. So with this, we'll go to the 69. 69 is very big one and very necessary to study. I have made it in two parts. So this is the first part we read of 69. There is but one road to the path. Now, in up to 68, it is said about the becoming path. Now it is telling about the road to the path. There is but one road to the path. And at its very end alone, the voice of the silence can be heard. So one road to the path, and at the end of it, you can hear the voice of the silence. But there is a ladder, the ladder by which the candidate ascends. And that ladder is formed of rungs of suffering and pain. So there is an imaginary ladder which takes up through all these gates. And these rungs of the ladder are nothing but suffering and pain. So on the path there is suffering, on the path there is pain. But our duty is these suffering and pains can be silenced only by the voice of virtue. So you have to cultivate virtues. You know many virtues, I don't want to repeat them. It is our duty to silence these suffering and pains by cultivating virtues. Humility is one of the virtues. Gratitude is the crown of the virtues. Then woe to the virtues. Then to the disciple, if there is one single vice. So when you are cultivating the virtues, still you are not successful. If single vice remains, that has not left behind. So if no vice is left behind, then the ladder will give way. If there is any vice left behind, then it will overthrow thee. because its foots rest in the deep mire of thy sins and failings are thou cannot attempt to cross this wide abyss of matter. Thou hast to leave thy feet in waters of renunciation. Always renunciation of the self is the way. So be aware, lest thou should not set a foot still soiled upon the ladder's lowest rung. So what we are told? We are told to cultivate the virtues and not leaving any vice behind. If any vice remains, then that will drag you down. That is what warning is given. In the next part, it says, "Woe unto him who dares pollute one rung with miry feet." Very good. Woe unto him who dares pollute one rung with miry feet. The fall of viscous mud will dry, become tenacious, then glue his feet unto the spot, and like a bird caught in the willy fowler's lime, he will be stayed from further progress. His vices will take shape and drag him down. His sins will raise their vices, like as the jackals laugh and sob after the sun goes down. His thoughts become an army and bear him off a captive slave. So if you fall and vicious, if you are in the mud of the fall and vicious, then that mud, you are in that water, but when you are in the fall and vicious mud, then that mud will dry and it becomes a glue and you will glide down. Your sins will raise their vices. The example is given, like the jackals laugh and sob after the sun goes down. See, the jackals are nocturnal. They are becoming happy when sun goes down. And whole nature is unhappy when sun goes down. They go to the sleep. But jackals, they won't sleep. They laugh when soul goes down. So when you are caught in such kind of vices, you are dragged down and you are happy with that vices. You don't know what wrong you are doing and you become a captive slave. This is warning is given in this. Then in 70, strictly it is said, in 70, kill thy desires. O Lanu, Lanu means here brother. Kill thy desire, Lanu, make thy vices impotent, ere the first step is taken on this solemn journey. See that the first step is the last step. So if first step is wrong, everything becomes crooked on your path. So then 71 says, strangely thy sins, strangle thy sins. What this means? Strangle thy sins and make them dumb. Make them dumb forever before thou dost lift one foot to the mount the ladder. So our duty is to work out all our karmas. You know who does the karma? There is no sin to the body. Body is not having any sin. Then who is having sin? Sinner is our astro-mental body. There is no sin to the physical body. Who is the sinner then? Our astro-mental body. And therefore, in the 72 it says, silence thy thoughts fix thy whole attention on thy master. How can we work out our karma, which our astro-mental body is doing? They have given the way. Attention on the master, whom yet thou does not see, but whom thou feelest. Who is the master? So we are asked, our astro-mental must focus on our Guru. So we say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. There is a Guru principle, and that is the sixth principle, Guru principle, and seventh is the Brahma principle. So Guru Brahma, Guru. So up to sixth principle, he is there. You have not seen him yet, but you feel it. Guru is there behind you. So those who are, it is very clearly said at the feet of the master. There are two types of people, those who know, those who do not know. Besides that, there are accepted chelas who have seen the masters. And therefore, how they behave, they don't do any wrong thing. If any wrong thing comes in their mind, they put that thought or feelings before his master and compare whether master will think like this, master will feel like this. Then that will help them to take the decision. But those who are not accepted, those who are not yet seen the master, then they must be true to yourself, because master knows your thought. So be true to yourself. See that you are watched on the path. This is what 72 says. That means again and again we are asked to take care of our astro-mental, silence thy thoughts and fix thy whole attention on the master. So one more thing, slide I have show here. Because karma is made up of cause, condition and result. These are the three things. Karma is made up of cause, because cause and effect is the law of karma. So it has three trinity, you can say. Cause is there, condition is there, and result is there. Cause is the seed, condition is the soil, and result is fruit, which is a process. It is a ripening process. In other words, we can learn them. Cause is male energy. It is from the past. And condition is the female energy. And ripening is the birth. So there are two kinds of results. That which carries further latent cause, or that liberates you, that which is the end. So what we have to remember is, the will is the only thing that can change our karma. So Atma Shakti is the only thing that will change your karma. Be determined soul. And in 73, it then says, merge into one sense thy senses. It is again very important to deal with. Merge into the one sense thy senses. If thou wouldst be secure against the foe, it is by that sense alone which lies concealed within the hollow of thy brain, that the steep path which leads to thy master may be disclosed before thy soul's dim eye. But remember, again, this is very nice, merge into one sense thy senses. merge into one sense, which is true synthesis in the hollow of our brain. Otherwise, our normal senses, our normal experiences are in the field of duality because of our two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, merge into one. Let your eye become one. Let your ear become one. Let your nostril breath becomes one. But God has given us two eyes, two ears, two nostrils. So we are enjoying the duality world. Even if this duality world is there, this is shown symbolically by third eye. That Testament says, let your eye be single. But totality can only be experienced in the whole manner, never forgotten. So that is the only then master may be disclosed before thy soul's dim eyes. Even master can appear before you. Only dim eyes. When Colonel Alcott received his master's turban, that time he was not physically completely seen, but some body is seen, etheric. So your dim eyes can see and he discloses himself. Then, but remember, 74th says, long and weary is the way before thee. O disciple, one single thought about the past that thou hast left behind will drag thee down, and thou will have to start the climb anew. This again warns us. It is the looking back or looking into the past. Because it is when we look into the past, if we are wise enough, we learn from the past. Otherwise, if we are worrying about our past events, always remembering them, then they strengthen our centers of psychological recognition. The desire to look back arises in us fear and insecurity. Even consciousness of virtue contains fear and insecurity. Therefore, spiritual pride, which is defense mechanism of the mind. Remember this. Sometimes spiritual pride is there, but it is again, mind is the slayer of the real. It is the defense mechanism of the mind. Be aware of the spiritual pride. And mind that is afraid is corrupt or contaminated mind. It is the incomplete past, leaves behind traces of psychological memory. See, this is very nicely Krishnamurti explained. A thought comes, we don't observe the thought. We just carried by the thought. If thought comes, observe it very, very attentively. He says, observe that thought very attentively. It comes, it stays with you, it looks at you, and it goes away. Let it go away. Then let another thought come. But don't keep it incomplete. If you keep that thought incomplete and jump to the other thought, then it is the incomplete past leaves behind traces of psychological memory. Therefore, HBV says, kill in thyself all memory of past experiences, look not beyond, or thou art lost. So this is what then 74, long and weary is the way before thee, O disciple, one single thought about the past that thou hast left behind will drag thee down, and thou wilt have to start the climb anew. Here I have shown one more slide. actually the path to success is really straight. See, straight path is there. And we, the human beings, who are caught in our psychological prison, we have made that path very complicated. Why? Because we have many expectations. So expectations of unexpected thing. See, when you have expectation of seeing the master, it is unexpected thing to see the master, because it is very difficult. But when you have that expectation, when you have that devotion in your mind, dedication to that work, then the path to success is really straight. Otherwise, if you are worrying about the past, thinking about the past, planning first what to do, or having a spiritual pride, that is what the reality of the humankind now. Then next, one more thing I will like to give you. This is the Blavatsky's letter to 1889 American Convention about the Universal Brotherhood. She says, but our union is and ever will be our strength. If we preserve our ideal of universal brotherhood, it is the old in hoc signo vinces. This is a very nice mantra. In hoc signo vinces. With this sign, thou shalt conquer, which should be our watchword, for it is under its sacred flag that we shall conquer. Which shows it is a cross, that is a renunciation of the self with this in hoc signo vinces. So if we have this, that is what HBB says. And I end with this today's talk. Still 5 minutes are there, I think. If anybody wants to ask, if they can ask. But we will go slowly. I have not taken much, up to 74 we have taken. Next time we'll go further. And I am very happy that we always begin with some auspicious day. All days are auspicious, but somehow we are recognizing those days also. Today we are expressing our honor and homage to C. Jinras Das, who has made very dedicated work of the Theosophical Society. Thank you, Vimalji, for presenting the slides. Even if I am not visible, I don't know why this has kept me invisible.
Your lower self is not there, sir. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful. And now we can open up for any additions, questions. A lot of you have joined in between, some have joined towards the end. So those who are from the beginning or anybody, Bhaskar sir, I see here, if you'd like to add something of his great knowledge, most welcome, sir. Bhaskar Tendulkar ji.
Vimalji, it was a wonderful talk, and I was listening to it. It was nice to listen to Brother Shinde Sirji. Thanks. I don't want to add anything more.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you, sir. Yes, Shiva. So, you can, if you,
Yeah. Yes.
if you
Can I?
stop the video.
Yeah.
No
Can you
problem.
hear me clearly?
Oh,
Yes,
Shiva
yes.
Subbu.
Yeah. The discipline that is required, that one must be free of all blemishes before he steps into the first rung of the ladder. It sounds so severe. We are ordinary mortals, and how do we attain that level of perfection even before we climb up the ladder.
But
Sir,
you remember Shiva Subramaniam?
Yes, sir.
Whatever grief you have in your heart,
Okay.
because it is difficult, because our heart is full of grief, because I lost my very close friend few days back.
Okay.
So that grief is there in my heart. I am not free from that grief. But don't worry, grief is the proof of love. Because of love, that grief is there. And if
Okay.
you are getting angry, don't worry. Anger is the proof of care. And if you get fatigued, not getting results, then don't worry again. It is the proof of your effort. So remember, you are not broken, you are alive. That is what on the path we need to be, not just survive or living, but we need to be alive, always keeping our link unbroken.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
anybody else? Okay, so I think we can end. I don't think there's anybody. So thank you so
Sir,
much.
today
Shinde.
you are not visible.
Yes.
Sir, today you are
Shubhaji.
not visible, but you are invisible helper for us.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Sushma. Thank you, Sushma ji, and thank you everybody for joining today. So I will just stop the recording, and if anybody wants to write and say any other comments, they can do that now. It's my record.